Hey guys, and welcome to the Best Hobbies blog. You may not have realized it, but there's a fair amount of strategy that goes into playing Monopoly, and today I'll be explaining it. The first part of the strategy is something fairly simple that most Monopoly players already understand. Your first few times around the board, you're going to want to buy most of the properties you land on, regardless of whether or not it's something that you think you'll want or even need later in the game. This will help maximize your access to properties to trade, build on, or even just hold on to prevent other players from getting a monopoly. You can see here each of the properties that I landed on my first trip around the board. Luckily, I managed to land on one of the railroads. This is important because as it turns out, they can be some of the most valuable properties you own. That is, assuming you own at least 3 or 4. If you own less than that, they become basically useless. The reason they're so valuable is if you own enough of them, they'll generate continuous cash flow for you without you having to spend all your precious dollars building houses on them. If you have all 4 of them, the chances of an opponent landing on one of them is greater than any other monopoly you could own. Now, here's an exception to the buy anything you land on rule, the utilities. Because there's only 2 of them, they're unlikely to be landed on, and even when they are, the payouts are usually terrible. If you bought one of them, your opponents would have to roll an average of 200 times before they would have landed on it enough for you to earn back your investment. When it comes to the color-coded properties, the best are the orange, the light blue, and the red. As soon as you do own a monopoly, you'll want to start building right away. The first person to build is usually at a huge advantage, but don't get too far ahead of yourself. Building hotels isn't always the best way to go. It can be a long time before you earn any of that money back, and there are better ways you could spend it. Your best bet is actually just to build 3 houses on each of the properties, and then use whatever money you have left over to try to acquire more properties and complete more monopolies. If you get sent to jail early in the game, it's always worth it just to pay the $50 to get yourself out right away. However, as soon as someone who owns a monopoly has started to build on it, you're actually better off just staying and waiting it out. Well guys, thanks for watching.